Good day, Mom. For today, I'll be reacting to the two videos, Freedom for the Philippines and the Manila Bomb, Japanese Invasion and World War II by Periscope Film. It is a black and white documentary showing how the Japanese occupied the Philippines during World War II and how the US, together with the Filipino forces, fought to regain our freedom. While watching, I realized na hindi lang siya simpleng historical footage, kundi reminder ng past and how much suffering, sacrifice, and resilience our ancestors went through para lang makamit ang kalayaan natin ngayon. One of the most emotional parts for me was when the video showed the surrender of American and Filipino troops in Bataan and Corregidor back in 1942. Imagine, after ilang months, and digmaan, gutom, and pagod, at the end, they had no other choice but to surrender. But that surrender didn't mean defeat of spirit. It was a decision for the lives na natira pa. A way to save the what remained of their men. According to the National World War II Museum and the official gazette of the Philippines, the fall of Bataan happened on April 9, 1942, followed by Corregidor on May 6. It is hard to imagine that the pain and hopelessness they must have felt during that time. The video also mentioned the Filipino collaborators, including the Makapili or Makabayang Katipunan ng mga Pilipino. These were Filipinos who worked with the Japanese by identifying guerrillas and pro-American locals. It is a painful part of our history. And masakit isipin na habang yung iba, they fought for freedom, may iba pa rin na nag-cooperate pa with the enemy. Pero the reason din was sometimes it was out of fear. Sometimes for survival and sometimes for personal gain. Pero this still feels like betrayal, ganun. The National Historical Commission of the Philippines also talks about how collaboration became a complex issue during the occupation, showing how war really tests people's morals. Another heartbreaking topic connected to this era is the issue of comfort women. Yung term na yun is very known talaga. Not only among us Filipinos, but it's actually a globally relevant topic. Many Filipinas were forced into sexual slavery by Japanese soldiers. These women suffered for decades, both physically and emotionally, and sadly, many never received the justice they deserved. Until now, groups like Lela Filipina and Malaya Lolas continue to fight for recognition and reparations. BBC News and other reports highlight how even after all these years, their voices still matter because their pain represents an entire generation's trauma. And of course, mayroon din yung Bataan Death March, which was also one of the darkest moments shown in the film and one of the harshest points din sa history natin in the Philippines. After the surrender, about 76,000 soldiers, both Filipino and American, were forced to walk more than 100 kilometers na nakabilad sa matirik na araw, with little food or water. Thousands died along the way. Nakakatakot at nakakaawa pag inaiisip mo yun ulit. But at the same time, it shows the unimaginable courage and endurance of those who survived. The U.S. Army Center of Military History details this event as one of the most tragic yet defining points in the war. Yung buhay rin under Japanese rule was very mahirap. Food was scarce, onti lang na pagkain, and people had to rely on rations. Yung ginagamit nilang money, which we now call Mickey Mouse money, was a Japanese issued currency that time sa Pinas. Pero it was practically worthless dahil sa inflation. Maraming matatanda pa rin ang nagkukwento about how useless that money became. You couldn't buy much with it, and survival was a daily struggle. According to the NHCP, the economy collapsed badly during this time, showing how the war affected even the ordinary Filipinos' daily life. Despite all the hardship, Filipinos never stopped resisting. One of the most inspiring parts of that time was the guerrilla movement, especially the Hukbalahap or Hukbo ng Bayan Laban sa Hapon, formed in 1942. Karamihan pa sa kanila were farmers and ordinary people na natuto paano mag-handle ng armed weapons to fight the Japanese in Central Luzon. They gathered intelligence, attacked the Japanese outpost, and helped protect civilians. The National Library of the Philippines has records of how the Hukbalahap became a major force in the liberation movement, providing that fight for freedom was truly a collective effort, hindi lang ng mga sundalo, kundi ng buong bayan din. And then, of course, there's General Douglas MacArthur, a very famous name sa atin dahil sa isang linya niya, which was also highlighted in the film, I Shall Return, and how he fulfilled that promise in 1944. When he landed in Leyte, his return marked the beginning of the Philippines' liberation. But beyond his iconic image, I think MacArthur's story also symbolizes hope. Hope na even after all those years ng paghihirap, freedom and justice can still come back to our country. The MacArthur Memorial Museum talks about how his leadership became the both symbol